Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to be doing an itsJerian style rant on the state of the game. It's no secret that Season 6 is not everyone's cup of tea. From primal shotguns to the crafting system to spire assassins that can quite literally two-shot you, Season 6 is a bit of a mess. However, that's not really why I'm making this video. What I want to give my take on is why we saw #RipFortnite trending on Twitter and what I think Epic can do in response. And yes, I know I made a video similar to this about a year ago. It's pretty much a yearly occurrence at this point, but after seeing a ton of Fortnite is dying videos from huge creators like Ali, Lachlan, CypherPK, Mongrel, it's time for someone to actually offer some constructive criticism. So make sure you guys watch until the end. Do not leave a comment before that. That's the only rule. Without further ado though, let's get right on into it. Now, for everyone that's kind of out of the loop, I guess I'll give a backstory on how the #RipFortnite trend came to be recently. Basically, Clix put out a tweet a few days ago saying that he could no longer host wagers. He had been doing 1v1s for money on stream with his viewers, basically wagers, when out of nowhere, Epic emailed him, threatened to ban him if he did not stop, and told him he could no longer host them in the future. Me personally, I did not, and I still don't have any problem with this. I've always felt like wagers were not good for such a young, impressionable community, especially since I do believe it is gambling. Even if you don't agree with me, Epic and the law agrees that it's gambling. So although they were fun to play and they offered a ton of content for big creators and streamers, I do agree with Epic's decision to let them go. Anyways, after Clix put up the tweet essentially telling everyone that wagers were bannable, you can no longer do them if you're a big streamer or creator, the community went absolutely crazy. Huge figures in the community started saying that Fortnite was dead. They said that Epic was purposely trying to kill their game. I even saw a few people saying they were going to go back to college. Only a slight overreaction. The reason I think everyone went crazy, at least in my opinion, is because of Season 6, the current state of the game, and Epic Games in general. People really do not care that much about wagers. Maybe wager kids do, I'm sorry to you guys, but the majority of pros and competitive players really did not freak out only because of wagers. To me, the cracking down on wagers was simply the straw that broke the camel's back. Remember how before I said that not everyone likes Season 6? Well, nobody in the pro or competitive community seems to enjoy it. Nobody. They do not like the crafting aspect. They do not like having to fight off spawn with makeshift weapons. Oh, sorry, makeshift weapons. And they especially do not like the primal shotgun. The way I saw it was that these pro players and streamers who were sick of the meta, they hate everything about the new season, they could really only play Zone Wars. Zone Wars is really fun. You could not get stream sniped in it. You could put up money against your friends or random viewers. It was huge for a reason. With Epic banning Zone Wars, however, there goes the only fun and really the only thing a lot of streamers can do. That is their only content. By the way, I'm not going to give my personal opinion on whether or not I think all these pro players' tweets were justified or not. I'm not really a huge fan of the new season, but at the same time, I'm not going to go and say that I'm going back to college solely because of it. I actually graduated. I just wanted you to all understand how this video came to be. Fast forward 2 days from Clix's tweet, and that's when HyperX, you guys should know him, he's the really big leaker dude on Twitter, he tweeted out his response to #RipFortnite. In his words, the competitive community should not expect any communication from Epic solely because of how toxic they've been. Jerian rant mode engage. While I do agree the comp community has been pretty toxic in the past, I'm not going to sit here and try to defend Clix calling Donald Mustard a bald F. He was an idiot for that. Still, I cannot stand behind this notion that the entire competitive community is toxic, nor that the comp community's toxicity came first. I actually replied to HyperX with exactly what I'm saying now, word for word. What if it was the lack of communication that caused pro players frustration in the first place? Thinking face. The thinking face is crucial. No, but for real, the reason we see so much frustration from the comp community is because Epic does not communicate. They were not upfront at all about the purpose of the preseason, which by the way, there was no purpose for. They changed nothing. They also have not said anything about primal shotguns and how busted they are. They did not give any reason for taking out 100% chest spawns, and most importantly, there are still no patch notes. Like, I could give a pass for Epic just because the new season came out. They want everyone to experience it without saying anything yet. However, we all know deep down, after the next 2 or 3 weeks, Epic is still not going to communicate. They have been radio silent for months and seasons on end. Why would they randomly start communicating now? Unless, of course, they watch this video. And what's funny is that I'm not even asking for a lot here. I've seen people say that Epic should hire a bunch of pro players on their team and get them to do all the balance changes. I've seen people say that they should just overhaul their entire competitive and balance team, or possibly let the community handle things. I am perfectly fine with Epic having full discretion over their balance changes. They've always done that, and I've always felt like they haven't done a terrible job. All I want is for them to tell us why they're making the changes they do. That way we don't have to make up the reasons, and we, the competitive community, can have a clear, useful dialogue that helps everyone involved. I know it's not gonna happen though.
But Jerian, you should be grateful for what Epic has done for you.
Of course I appreciate Epic. I love Fortnite. They've given me this great community I have, my job. I will play Fortnite for years to come. Still, this does not change anything of what I said. I want Fortnite to become the best game possible. I specifically want that on the competitive side, since that's mainly what I care about, and I'm always gonna offer my constructive criticism. Hopefully Donald Mustard thinks it's constructive. In the case we have right now, I think the solution is pretty simple. Bring back patch notes. Epic, towards the end of them giving patch notes, was getting really good at providing explanations for why they made all their changes. I remember at one point in all their weekly updates, they would put a little excerpt underneath each change. That paragraph would go into detail explaining why they made the change, who thought of it, who actually implemented it. It was really awesome and cool to see. So why did they stop that? Furthermore, why did they stop patch notes altogether? How could the biggest game on earth with the biggest competitive scene in modern gaming history, there's no competitive game with more people competing, how could that game not have patch notes? What? Even if Epic does not want to release the patch notes as soon as the new update hits, that was the big reasoning why people thought they took them away. Pros would complain about all the new changes before the servers even came up. They wouldn't even try out the changes in game yet. Why not just do it a day or two later then? Epic has to realize that people are gonna complain no matter what. It doesn't matter when you decide to broadcast all the changes you made. If you made a stupid change, people are gonna complain about it. That's the way things work. In fact, the complaining is only gonna get worse if you try to hide the changes like Epic does and give absolutely no reason for anything you do. Stop being babies. You can take a little criticism on your game. Every developer goes through this. Do the right thing and bring back patch notes. Next pretty obvious solution is to truly separate loot pools. For those of you that do not know, Epic addressed this issue like 2 years ago in their last Reddit AMA. That was basically the last time we ever heard from Epic directly, where they said they did not want to separate the loot pools for the viewers' sake. Apparently, they want the casual viewers like little Timmy, anytime he's watching a competitive tournament, maybe like the second World Cup if it ever happens, they want him to think that those matches are not too different from public matches. Weird, right? Outside of the fact this really does not make a lot of sense, little Timmy does not care what he watches, and he told me that. I still have him locked up. Epic straight up violated their own ideals. Just think about the way Arena is currently versus normal public matches. They are so much different, it's insane. Arena has siphon, mats per kill, different storm mechanics for the later zones, increased farming rates, a modified loot pool, completely different features. These two game modes are not similar at all to begin with, so why not go all in? It's extremely evident that in Season 6, certain weapons do not belong in the competitive game modes. I could even argue that the entire crafting system does not, just because of how bad an RNG makes the early game. That'll be a different video. The point here is that Epic has the ability, they've even used that ability, to make competitive way more competitive. They can leave certain overpowered weapons like the primal shotgun only in pubs. They can also bring more balanced weapons only in tournament game modes. They can do whatever the heck they want. They've literally done it this season with the shockwave grenades, people. I feel like I'm talking to a wall. Therefore, again, please do the right thing. Take the full step forward to make competitive more competitive and separate the loot pool. It will make everyone happier. Final solution in my eyes, one that is honestly pretty straightforward for Epic to implement, is to actually care. Epic's one solution for the past few years has been to just throw money at the competitive scene. You don't like the meta? Here's $20 million and an FNCS. You don't like how we refuse to communicate with you guys? Here's another $20 million. As much as competitive players appreciate all this money, it is a lot, way more than other esports, especially online. I truly think most players care about making the game more competitive. I love huge prize pools, even though I never get any of them because I suck. I, however, would much rather have communication, patch notes, good balance changes, a separate loot pool, everything I mentioned before, even if it meant losing out on money. Oh, and you know what I just thought about? The weird thing about everything I just listed, all the different solutions, is that none of them cost money. It's not like patch notes take millions of dollars to complete and put online. Epic 100% documents all the changes they make every update, they write them down, and they write the exact reasoning they do. They just choose not to put them online for the player base. Is Epic just lazy or something? They can't be, because I remember them cranking out patch notes when they were doing an update every single week. That can't be an excuse, and neither can be money. Thus, let me know what you guys think. Hopefully I'm not speaking too out of terms on what the general community wants. I obviously still love huge prize pools, and I will always push for them. I just wish Epic would throw us a bone. Do what costs absolutely $0. Communicate with us, implement the solutions I said, do something that shows us you care. Now, before I sign off, I want to end the video on a little bit of a high note. Fortnite is not dying anytime soon. I know you guys have seen a ton of clickbait on YouTube, including some from myself. I'm sorry. Maybe Fortnite is technically dying from a numbers standpoint. There's obviously not as many people playing now as there was at Fortnite's peak back in Chapter 1. Trust me though, the game is far from dead. Fortnite is going to be exactly like League of Legends and Minecraft. It's going to be around for years to come, possibly decades, and that's because Epic is constantly innovating and updating it. They give us an entire new loot pool each season, even if it includes primal shotguns. They give us a whole new map every chapter. They also give creative makers new features like every week to help revolutionize their maps. Fortnite has a very long future ahead of it. I put that on baby. And just imagine if Epic actually implemented any of the solutions I mentioned before. They could just sit on them, and then when the player base really declines, implement them, and boom, everyone will probably come running back. So again, I do apologize for the clickbait. Fortnite is not dying, but it's the only way to get you guys to click. Just know I appreciate Epic Games. I appreciate all you guys. The only people who can kill off Fortnite is Fortnite itself. Overall, guys, those are my thoughts on Season 6, the current state of the game, and the RIP Fortnite hashtag that was trending on Twitter. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of my solutions. I'm probably going to be responding to a bunch of comments. I'm always looking at them anyways. Lastly, if you enjoyed the video or you learned something new, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel somewhere down here, and to turn on my post notifications. Shout out to everyone on the screen for using code JERIAN. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hopefully Epic does not get too mad at this video. I felt like I was being pretty respectful. Please don't take away my creator code. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.